I get asked.
Yeah. Oh, my phone's about to die. Hold on 1 second. Not a good start. Always start with a fully charged battery, guys. That is YouTube streaming 101. Start with a fully charged battery. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to hold it up. All right, what's going on, guys? JohnnyNerdOut here, doing another live video. I love doing these. Sorry we're running a couple minutes late, but you know we're doing a live video. People always run late with these things. Want to talk about a couple things. Sorry, I got too many notifications going on in the background. Want to talk about a couple things. Want to answer some questions. Just talk with you guys. I really like doing these, almost like fireside chats. I cut my hair right before I came here. Now I'm noticing that I messed it up. I didn't have time to trim my beard. Now I'm noticing it. So before you guys start making fun of me, I'm going to make fun of myself. I look like, I don't know, somebody who cuts their hair without a mirror. Try to top that. What's up, Kendrick from New York? What's going on? So if you guys got any comments or questions or whatever, you want to chime in, feel free. Jump in, do the chat. Eventually, we're going to be trying to do this. We're going to try to be adding phone calls to this so I could talk to you guys. I really want to show you guys what a consultation is like, and hopefully we could kind of replicate that a little bit live and show everybody. I do consultations on my website, JohnnyNerdOut.com. If you're thinking about building an e-bike, you got questions about, hey, I'm thinking about, I got to commute 20 miles each way. I live here, I live in Georgia, whatever. I got these hills, I got whatever. I want to go 30 miles an hour, whatever you're looking for. Whether you're new, you don't even know which bike to start with, or you have a bike or you don't have a bike, whatever. Or if you're super advanced, you've already built 3 or 4 or 5, 10 bikes, I could still help you. There's a lot of things that you don't know until you've done at least 100 builds. And even then, once you hit 300-400, you're still learning stuff. So even if you're a newbie or if you're an advanced builder, I could probably still help you and still help you save $100 easy, probably just one consultation. So head to JohnnyNerdOut.com. Also there, you'll see we're running 5% off holiday sales now, still till the end of the year. And I actually just lowered the prices of the base BBS HD motor. So if you're looking at getting Bafang BBS HDs, now is a really good time to get on. I think the base price is like under $600 now for a BBS HD, whether you need 68, 100, or 120 mil. So what's going on, everybody? Glad you guys are coming in. It's nice to see everybody, even though I can't see you. It's good to see your names popping up on the chat, though. So yeah, if you guys got any questions or anything, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of chat away a little bit. I'm trying to think of what's been going on this last week. I know in the news, a couple things that has happened is Harley Davidson, I guess, sold off their Serial 1 brand of e-bikes, which I'm kind of not surprised. I haven't really heard too much from that. I think it was 2 years ago when they came out. It was big news everywhere. And it looked really cool. I didn't get a chance to ride one. I think I missed the show that they were showing them at. But I heard that they rode really nice, but I think they were priced at like $5,000 or something, which was insane, which just so that it was not a bicycle-oriented company that was trying to make something they didn't really know. Whoever did that either got too many cooks in the kitchen or something, but it's really hard to buy a $5,000 e-bike. Like, that thing better have bells and whistles, better ride like a dream, better have a 200-mile range. I'm not surprised that they went under or that they sold off to somebody who's going to try to revitalize it. Hopefully somebody who knows e-bikes. and can revitalize it. Because it did look cool. It looked kind of interesting, but that bike should have gone for like $2,000, and then they would have probably sold a lot more. Let's see. Splash a link for your graphene batteries. I don't know how to do this from my phone. I'm on my phone right now. We're working on getting this live to a higher production value. Me and Shane have been working. We've been doing this for about a month now. We've got our video switchers and OBS set up and everything. We got some microphones. I should pretend like I'm talking into this one right now. They're not hooked up, but we're going to be doing a lot more stuff, and Shane's going to be helping me, and he's going to be able to splash stuff like that. But yeah, the graphene battery, that's probably been a lot of my consultations. A lot of the people that have been calling the shop been talking a lot about the graphene batteries by the brand Appear that I'm carrying now. They are I've gotten different reports. They're not graphene. There is no graphene, pure graphene battery. So I just want to be totally on that. But they're marketing this as a graphene-based battery. And graphene it's like the new wonder kid on the chemical metals block, to put it plainly. Supposedly more stable, can handle higher currents, things like that. It's just, if everybody adopted graphene and everything was pure graphene, it would be awesome. A lot of these problems would be going away. But the good news, anyways, just to make a long story short, the graphene batteries that I have now, I got some jumbo sharks with graphene that could handle up to 60 amps continuously, which is huge. So they're 52 volt, they can handle 60 amps continuous. There's not a lot of batteries on the market that could handle 60 amps continuous. But these are, if you're looking for something that, even if you're running a BBS02 or BBS HD, those things only pull mid to high 20 amps, 30 amps tops. So it's not even cracking half of the potential of these graphene batteries. Still, at the end of the day, I always tell people it isn't so much the cells, it's who's putting them together, what type of materials are they using to put it together. So my other batteries have I would say have a very good long track record of bulletproofness. My, Samsung, Panasonic ones from my current battery supplier, they're just awesome. They're rock solid. I've taken apart many of these batteries and they're just built super well. So I'm very happy with my battery manufacturer now. Those are all rated at 40 amps continuous BMS, which is still overkill for any Bafang. Even most of the CYCs, except for the X1 Pro Stealth, that's the only one that could draw 50 amps. And for that, you'd want, like the Appear, or my other Jumbo Shark. Both of my Jumbo Sharks are 50 amp and 60 amp. So the one with Samsung cells are 50 amps, which is still way overkill and can handle the X1 Pro, and the Appears are 60 amp. And they both use the 21700 cells. And that's the other thing I get asked about a lot too, is 18650s versus 21700s. It's one of those things where I could do a 15-minute video on by itself, but I do want to talk about it now because I feel like I get asked about it a lot. 18650 cells, for the most part, are absolutely fine for e-bikes. It's not the cell. It doesn't really matter the cell. They're like a good GA cell or a 35E cell, and paired with like a Bafang motor, it's like perfect. You're not going to stress those batteries. They're perfectly fine. It's when you get the cheap generic cells that are 18650 and you pair it with an overpowered motor that's pulling it too hard. That's when it starts getting like dangerous. Those cells can get hot. Everything can get hot because everything is, it's not paired well. It's all about pairing. Pretend you're a wine taster. You want to be pairing it, 21700 cells in general, and again, every cell is different. In general, they're bigger, beefier cells, so they can handle that high current output without really getting hot. So in general, yeah, 21700 cells they're bigger, they're beefier, they're better. But in a lot of cases, they're overkill for what people need. So it's hard to say. I would rather have a high quality 18650 cell than a poor quality 21700 cell. It's kind of like saying like a premium Ford versus, I don't know, whatever. That's a bad analogy. I'm going to stop myself right there. Okay, let's go to the comments. Let's see what everybody's talking about here. Let's see. Kendrick's got a Diamondback Edgewood hybrid. I want to convert. I don't need crazy range. So would a 40 volt be fine for me over the 50 volt? 40 volt, are you talking over the 50? Are you talking 36 volt nominal and 48 volt nominal, or are you talking 48 and 52 volt nominal? I'll try to answer both. The range, it doesn't really matter with the voltage. You want amp hour rating. That's going to actually watt hours is what you're looking for range. Voltage is just really more like power. It's more like I got a V6, I got a V8. You have more potential power at your disposal when you have a higher voltage. If you use a 72 volt battery, for example, but you use it very mildly, you'll get crazy range. You could get more range out of that than you can a 36 volt battery if you're just using it mildly. So it's all about the watt hour ratings. It's how many watt hours does your pack have? And then you could kind of start thinking, all right, how many watt hours per mile am I going to be consuming based on your riding? Most people use between 10 and 20 watt hours a mile. If you're really aggressive, you could be using 30 to 40 watt hours per mile. If you're, a stop and smell the roses type of rider, you could burn as little as 5, but generally 5 to 10 because you're going to have hills and stuff. But yeah, some people use 5 to 10 watt hours a mile, which means even the smallest battery pack that I carry, like the 52 volt, 8 amp hour, it's like 400 watt hours. Actually, I have a 6 amp hour, which is 300 watt hours. That's even smaller. You get 30, 40 mile range out of that little tiny thing, which weighs like 3.5 pounds. It's insane. So you want to be looking at that. Both of them are important, but let's see. Just finished my BBS02 build on my Cannondale Hardtail. Came out better than I could ever imagine. Thanks for all the info, Johnny. Yeah, no worries, man. I love it. I love it when people first build their first one and they get it dialed in right. They get it looking really good. And there's nothing like it. It's the best feeling. Like I've bought e-bikes before. I've built e-bikes before. When you build your own e-bike, convert a bike into an e-bike and you get it dialed in perfectly, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just something cool. And, there is also something cool. I remember the first time I got my first new e-bike was like a Rad Wagon or something like that, the first gens. And I was like, this thing is cool. I really like that one. But, now that I'm building it, I get way more hyped over a cool e-bike build. What's up, Maggie? How's it going? Let's see. I built 3 e-bike. I want to build a BBS HD with belt drive and solid tires. Yeah, I'm working. I'm still trying to figure out. So I started a priority belt drive. I bought like a cheap priority bike. I think it was on Costco or something. It was like $400 or $500. I just wanted to convert a belt drive because I was like, I want to just be familiar with them and just know so when people call me and ask me and stuff. Anyways, that was back in Utah when I lived there. And now I'm here and I finally just got it out of the box. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. So I'm just started ordering some more parts. Hopefully I'm going to have a belt drive taken care of. The only thing is it's a single speed until Veer comes out with their multi-speed belt drive, and it's going to be awesome. Oh yeah, Skeeter McGee. Oh yeah, I forgot about UL rating. So I'm working on getting some UL rated batteries as well. They're going to be the same ones, probably from a peer, but they're just going to have a variant on UL rating. Eventually, I'm going to have a UL rating rated version for all the batteries, or most of them at least. It is more expensive because you have to pay for that UL testing and certification. It's the same exact battery, but you have to pay to have that UL stamp on it. They test like 3 or 4 batteries and they give you the stamp for all the batteries that you buy. So it is interesting. The whole UL rating thing it is good. It is good. I think it's a step in the right direction. But at the same time, my practical brain is like, it's the exact same battery that I'm buying. Like, you're paying $100 for a sticker. So I don't know. But yeah, Skeeter, Magoo, I'm in the works of getting UL rated batteries. So if you, all you people in New York that are like, I can't get batteries, you can't buy them on Amazon anymore because none of those batteries are UL rated. And if they are, man, check the fine print because there's some gray market stuff going on. And that's what I'm worried about too, is even now that New York City has passed where you got to be UL regulated, there's going to be tons of scammers are out there, man. They're going to be putting stickers on it and they're going to figure it out. But there's huge fines. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're like, yeah, why don't I just do that? You're looking at huge fines. If not, I don't even know, maybe even jail time. So not worth it. Don't do it. Let's see. Hi, do you know what is the BBSO2 and BBSHD have a minimum RPM to avoid damage? I got a BBSO2 down to like 20 RPM at 250 watts on a very steep hill. Is that fine? Tricky question. 250 watts on a BBSO2. Yeah, 250 watts is not a whole lot. You're not going to do too much damage. 20 RPM, I'm assuming that's crank RPM. That's not terrible. If you were pumping full wattage, like 1400 watts, and you were doing 20 RPM, I'd be like, yikes, man. One good test you could always do is if you're worried about it, reach down and touch the motor core. Is it too hot to touch? If it is, back off. Give it a rest. Just go blow on it for a little bit. If it's just a little warm, just a little bit, you're fine. It's all about heat. You want to keep that heat from building up. So you could always just pull over, do the test, or after you get to the top of the hill, pull over, feel your motor, see what the temperature is like. Joe OWS, I don't know, or is that Aus? I don't know. Graphene is almost 100% carbon base, and that's earth friendly. Yep, there's a lot of benefits to graphene. So, yeah. But again, these batteries are just graphene based, which means a percentage of them are graphene. The exact percentage, I don't know, but when I saw graphene, I was like, that's awesome. I'll take anything. Just include some of it in it, and I'm on board. So that's cool. Let's see. I've had several e-bikes and built a nice conversion. Still think my Bike Tricks Ultra 1000 is the best one I have. Yeah, that's cool. I think Bike Tricks is doing kind of some... They got a lot of weird... I don't know about weird bikes, but pushing the envelope bikes, I guess. Which is also... Man, oh, sorry, I'm a little chilly. It's cold in this warehouse. I spoke to a gentleman this evening or earlier today, and he wanted me to build him a bike. Maybe he's watching right now. I don't know. But it got me thinking, and I keep wanting to talk about this topic as well, is when is an e-bike no longer an e-bike? When is it a motorcycle, an e-motorcycle? Because he wanted me to build him a 40-plus mile-an-hour bike. But I told him, I was like, man, and he wanted it to be on a full suspension bike. He wanted like quad piston calipers, like just be a tank pretty much. And I was kind of telling him, like, at the end of the day, it's still a bicycle. Like, if you're going to buy a bicycle and convert it, you're going to tear stuff apart. Like, and that's the thing is going over 40 miles an hour on a bicycle puts so much strain on, especially a full suspension bike, because you got so many pivot points, this way and this way, and all the different axes on it. And if I was building a 40-plus mile-an-hour bike to be reliable at all, I would put it on a hardtail. Something with a good front suspension fork and a hardtail. That's going to be your best combination if you want to build a 40-plus mile-an-hour bicycle. But if you are, and you're going to be in like city areas and stuff, I recommend just converting a motorcycle. It's way better. Going 40 miles an hour on a bicycle it's fun for the first little bit, and then it's really kind of just dangerous and scary. I mean, it's fun in a closed circuit, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to work with the Portland Raceway here, and I want to start doing electric bicycle/motorcycle races here, and they seemed open to it. So actually, if you guys are into something like that, I don't know. I need more support because I need to make it viable. I want to know if there's anybody out there that would want to do electric bicycle racing on a motorsports raceway. And if some of you guys have an idea or whatever, help me get this to fruition. I've been talking with them, the Portland Speedway. I haven't talked to them in a little while, but I want to kick that conversation back up again. That's where you need to take your electric motorcycle. Sorry, I don't feel like I'm all over the place, but that kind of spurred my my thought. So, anyways, what is the best chain for longevity, single speed? That's a great question. I don't ride a single speed. Well, actually, I used to, though. I used to ride a Sturmey Archer 5-speed internally geared hub, and I used a single speed KMC chain, and I didn't break it once. I think I logged about 2,000 miles on it. I made the mistake of not keeping it, the internally geared, completely adjusted perfectly, and I kind of started just eating it up, and I didn't destroy the internally geared hub. I just got sick of it like clattering a little bit in second and fourth gear, but the chain never gave out. So a KMC $9 chain, KMC single speed chain, I don't know, it's got my endorsement of 2,000 miles and no problems, and they're super freaking cheap. How's it going, Johnny? It's going well. Thank you for asking. How's it going by you? Let's see. Yeah, the KMC's got e-bike rated chains too. I carry those at JohnnyNerdOut.com. They are more expensive, so it's kind of hard. I'm always like, getting like an X10 chain versus like the X or the E10, the E-rated chain. I think it's like 15 or 20 bucks more. I don't know how much more it's going to get you. If it's 20% more in price, that one isn't that bad. I think, and it's like the 11 speed too. I think the 11 speed is like 50 bucks, but the E11 is like 58 bucks. So it's not that big of a difference. I would say go for it. But I think like the 9 speed, I want to say the X9 and the E9, the price is kind of crazy. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to justify, in my opinion, but maybe some of you guys are having really good experience. I like to just use my I think I got a 9-speed on it. I just use the X9 chain, and I got no problems with it. Let's see. Hey, good day, Sydney, Australia. How's it going, my bluey brethren? I love that show. Yeah, 48 volt for 52 volt. Yeah, I get asked that a lot too. It's like, should I go 48 volt or 52 volt? And I usually say they're almost the exact same. 48 volt if you want to err on the side of reliability. 52 volt if you want to err on the side of just having more power. If you're going with a Tongsheng, I'd probably recommend go 48 volt. Especially if you're really planning on punishing it, like using full power. Those Tongshengs are great motors. They really are. I don't want to come across like I'm bashing them at all. They're great motors. They're light duty motors though. So if you're somebody who wants to do 30 plus miles an hour, don't get the Tongsheng. If you're just somebody who wants like a nice natural feeling torque sensing mid-drive motor, go Tongsheng, and I would recommend going 48 volt with that because it's a 500 watt motor, at least the ones that I have. And I know Tongsheng has the 750 watt versions and stuff, but in my opinion, it's a 500 watt motor. You've seen how small and lightweight it is. If you're looking for a dirt bike motor, don't go with that one. I think you're going to be disappointed. Let's see. How is the motorcycle conversion going? It's pretty much done. I'm working on putting in an ammeter, so I could just see how many amps I'm drawing in real time. I feel like I'm not getting full power. It's a 72 volt, 28 amp hour battery, but I'm getting a new 72 volt, 40 amp hour battery with 150 amp BMS. That's coming in hopefully by spring, and I hope to be offering that for sale as well. I think that one will be that'll be like 1,400 bucks for that battery. But if you're building motorcycles for like a 40, 50 mile range, that's not That's not bad at all. So, and I'm happy with that. 150 amps at 72 volt. That's, I don't know, 12, 13,000 watts. So it'll be good. It'll be a good motor replacement for anything probably 500cc or less. It'd be a good one. Anyone mixing bats? I've been using LiPo 4 to extend my e-bike bats. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's mixing bats. I don't mix batteries. I got one big battery. We use the Super Sharks on our bikes, and most of the stuff we do now, it's with our daughter, and we'll go down to like the city center, which is like 5 or 6 miles away. So like round trip, we're doing like 10, 11 miles mainly. Some days we go on long rides and it's like, hey, let's try to do 20, 30 miles today. Cause our daughter's, she sits in the back. She's 2 years old. And her attention span goes out before our butts or our bikes. So usually if you just get one big enough battery, you don't need to swap them. Is the Mongoose cargo bike still the best value for conversion? That video you made on it was sick. It's weird. That Mongoose cargo bike, and I'm trying to remember the name of it now. Envoy. For a while it was like $700, and then all of a sudden it went up to like $1,100, and I don't even know what it is now. But that was a cool bike. I did like it. It just depends on what price you're getting it at. So value, it depends on what you're getting it at. $700? Yeah, I don't know if you could find anything better than that, brand new. However, I always see on Facebook Marketplace, Trek had a cargo bike for a while, and the Kona Utes you could usually find for a while, and Extra Cycles you could usually find. I would probably rather find like a used Kona Ute for like $500. I actually bought a Kona Ute one time for like $500. And it was good. I mean, like you could find those pretty much all day long for under $600. So for me, I'm like, you might be best to just go used, but brand new. Yes, the Mongoose is at $700. It is probably still the best. Gates works great with the BBS, as does a geared hub. Yeah. If you're putting tons of power on it, depends on the internally geared hub you're using. If you're using the Shimano, like the Alfines and stuff. The 8, I think the Alfine 8, in my experience, has been probably one of the best ones for power to cost. I think it's like $200 to $300 for that, and you get an 8-speed. And I mean, unless you want to go roll off, but those things are like $1,500. I don't know anybody who's actually using those things. Battery 1 or 2 switch. Battery 1 or 2 switch versus battery combiner. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I carry the battery combiners, and it's up to you. Like if you're somebody who's going cross country and you don't want to stop to switch them, then they're great. I do think for most people though, like stopping to charge or just hot swapping, it usually does the trick. Unless you got it like hardwired in. I'm trying to think. Then you might, like some bike setups, like you get it wired and you get the wiring all cable managed nicely, and you don't have access to unplug and plug in. Then a battery balancer, makes sense for you. It just depends on your setup and your needs. It's hard to say like, oh yeah, battery balancer makes sense for you. It's like, well, what are you doing and what's your ride setup? And just to plug myself again, if you guys want to do an e-bike consultation with me, go to JohnnyNerdOut.com. I could help you with your build, your future build, your current build if you're having problems with it. A lot of times I do people like, they're like, I can't get my gear shifting to do it. I followed your video, but it's still just not going. I do e-bike troubleshooting, stuff like that. Jump on a Zoom call, whatever. Or if you're thinking about doing one, I could help you pick everything out. So yeah, go to JohnnyNerdOut.com. We also have the 5% off sale going on still. Just end of season sale. We got tons of motors and batteries. We're not going to be clearing out. Hey John, have you ever thought about trying to partner with Grin Tech to distribute Cycle Analyst and their controllers in USA? I mean, I do partner with Grin. I sell a lot of their stuff. I have a good relationship with them. They do predominantly hub motor stuff. I do predominantly mid-drive stuff, so it wouldn't completely make sense. I do like their Cycle Analyst, but I feel like it's more, I think it's more geared for hub motors and bikes that are, motors that are dumb, how to say, and not dumb, is they're just low tech motors. Like the Cyclone would be a perfect motor to fit that on. I do Bafangs, and there's just so many displays out there that I feel like a psychoanalyst in a lot of ways would be kind of like a step backwards. The Egg Rider, for example, I think is, in my opinion, a superior display. I know I might catch some heat for that, but if you have a Bafang, I mean, the Egg Rider is just, that's still king of the hill for displays. But yeah, Grintech makes some really cool adapters that I carry their stuff. Their trip wires. I got their double bobs, triple bobs, bottle bobs, everywhere a bob. So yeah, I carry their stuff. What else do I have from them? I don't know. They sell good stuff though. I like Grid. They make good stuff. We just have different philosophies. They like the hub motors. I like the mid drives. Skeeter Magoo, it's just a cost. I think the UL certification, it's probably just, it's not, it's a slippery slope. I don't know. Can a DIY compete with a wired freedom price to performance? I don't know what that means. I don't know what a wired freedom is. I should look that up. What is a wired freedom? Is that the name of a bike? Marcus? What is a wired freedom? Price to performance. Let me see if my my computer turned off. It was beeping at me, so I turned it off. Let me see if I can get this bumped up. If I can get this turned on, I'll go look that up. Hey Johnny, tell me how waterproof is the BBS02 for real? All right, for real? Just between you and me. It's not waterproof. No motor that I've ever seen is waterproof. Waterproof means you could dunk it in a river and it'll work underwater. Nothing is waterproof. No batteries, nothing. These are all electronics. They are very water resistant though. I commuted with my BBS HD in Portland where it rains nonstop 8 months a year straight and no problems. So Bafang makes, they have gaskets, rubber gaskets in there in between all this stuff. But that being said, yeah, try to protect it from the rain, I guess. Don't go underwater with it. Yeah, because they're water resistant, very water resistant, but not waterproof at all, if that makes sense. All right, let's check out this wired freedom e-bike. I'm looking it up. I'm falling for it. I'm duping it. Let's see. Wired bikes, the most powerful e-bike on the market. I wonder if I could switch my camera around. Okay, the most powerful bike in its class. Let's see. How much is it? What is this? Formerly known as Wicked. That's funny. I like it when bikes have to change who's making them. $2,000. Full suspension. Is it it's a hub motor? Oh, I could easily beat this for $2,000. Yeah, it's a full suspension. I mean, but this is what we call, oh man, this is where I get in trouble. If you're a bike person, you see that and you see a bike-shaped object. You see something that when the battery dies or the motor dies on it, you do not want to be caught pedaling it. So I would say those are not e-bikes. They're not bikes. They're more like mopeds. A moped is something that you don't want to be caught pedaling either. But like an e-bike, like a good e-bike, the battery dies, you're still pedaling it. You're still, like, it's a little bit of drag, a little bit of resistance, but you're still pedaling it no problem, and it handles good. It still has that same kind of characteristics. These type of bikes will not have that. I'm already looking at it. My legs are tired just looking at it. It looks like pedaling a tank. It's a hub motor, so it's a totally different ballpark. Can I build something that would beat that up a hill? Absolutely. Can I build something like that will beat it top speed? Absolutely. Can I build something like that that'll have more range? Absolutely. For that price, depends on the bicycle that we're starting with. Component-wise, battery-wise, absolutely, I could build something for that. If you already have the bike, then, not putting any extra money into it, yeah, I could easily. And that's the thing. Yeah, sorry. And I don't, it's hard because I don't want to bash people with their e-bikes. But I do want to make sure that people are not wasting their money and they're getting a good product for what they're spending. I mean, that's $2,000. That's still a lot of money. That's a good used car right there. I mean, unless you're making buku bucks, $2,000 plus shipping and all that, you're probably, and plus tax, I don't know, you're probably looking at close to $2,500. Can I build you something better? Yes. But I don't know what your needs are, what suits your needs. Are you used to riding a bike? You might not want to be shifting gears, and hub motors are great because you don't have to worry about shifting gears and all that. So for some people, that bike is great. They just want a comfy ride with big cushy tires and go down to the boardwalk and ride, and all right, and that's fine. It's got a rear rack on it and stuff and headlights, so it's great. Can I build you something better? Yes, absolutely. Can you build something yourself even better? Yes, absolutely. But if this is what you're into and it fits all your check boxes, then it is a great bike for you. It's just, it's to each their own. For me, it's not appealing to me at all. But some people, it is very appealing. I'm not trying to shame you for that. And that's where I get into trouble because I'm thinking of a quote that I don't want to say, but to each their own. That's all I'm going to say. Don't yuck somebody's yum is what I was going to say. And I hate that. I don't like that. But anyways, let's see. I can't find a way to beat it. Yes, crank. I forget. I'm too far behind on the comments. I gotta speed up. I gotta get to more questions before I go on my things. Yeah, Luke Walker, hit the thumbs up for Johnny. Let me know if you guys are liking this. I just assume, I have fun doing this, so I just assume that everybody else has fun. And I know that for some people, this might not be fun. I'd like to make this a little bit more interactive. Right now, taking your chats and your comments is the only way that I could interact with you guys. I do want to start taking phone calls, though. I think that's going to be cool. I don't know how we're going to, filter out the numbnuts out there, but we'll figure out a way. Maybe we'll just have fun with it. Let's see. Luke Walker, bought your 52 volt, 25 amp hour battery with the 50 G cells. Yeah. Made it to a BBS HD. Yeah, that is a good combo. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great battery. I like the Jumbo Sharks, and especially, man, I'm getting them for a really good price from my good manufacturer. And it's not that much more expensive than the Super Sharks. And I bet you my prices are way better than a lot of the other places for a 52 volt, 25 amp hour with Samsung 21700 cells, quality made, 3-pin, high charge, discharge. They're not like the barrel plug stuff that you're going to be getting off of that Bafang Direct USA website, which is not Bafang. They're not, by the way. Yeah, anyways. Let's see. Okay, I see a question there. I want to get to CD1337. I want to get to your question here in a second. Let's see. I bought the Luna Galaxy paint, and I put on a PBS HD, and it is a tank with the 5-inch tires. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need a tank. Tanks aren't bad, unless you're looking for a commuter to just go for efficiency. Then it's not good. But man, if you want something that could go anywhere and probably be pretty comfortable, that's great. Okay, CD1337. What do you think of velomobiles? I absolutely love velomobiles. I remember back in Chicago, it must have been 2014, something like that. I saw a YouTube video of a guy in Norway, and he was working on a velomobile. And it struck a nerve, and I was like, holy crap. This guy is awesome. I was like, how can I fund this guy? How can I give him $10? I just wanted to send him some money to help him get his dream of this little velomobile that he was making. It was capable of 20 miles per hour, but he had a working windshield wiper on it and door. And he was riding around the snow in it, and he was trying to get it to market. And I was like, that is awesome. And I think that video probably sparked it for me of I don't know, I saw the future right there, and it was this. I don't know. I don't never heard from this guy again posting stuff, but hopefully he did something with it. But man, I gotta find that video now. I should make a video on that video. Give him some more love and maybe bring him back. I don't know. Get him, see what he's doing. Let's see. Luke Walker, careful about liability with people getting hurt. I know that's the thing. And freaking bikes exploding when people are using these cheap Amazon cells and they're just putting together cheap bikes and using stuff. And yeah, I know I don't know. But I guess if you're out on a big speedway, you sign a waiver and yeah, I don't know. Put together a small presentation. Yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. We're getting back to the thing. I gotta catch up. Any experience with modifying juice bikes, more specifically off-road camp scrambler? Yeah, check out my videos, Lawrence. I've converted a few juice bikes. People are notoriously furious with their customer service and not being able to get parts, which is just another thing, because when you buy a pre-made e-bike, those bikes, they're made in China from a facility. There's a distributor, there's a manufacturer, and then they sell to e-bike companies who then put their name on it. Pretty much no matter what brand you're buying, it's just somebody who put their logo on it. So you're paying like sometimes $1,000 for that sticker of that brand. Which it drives me nuts. But unless an e-bike company is saying specifically made in America or whatever, or wherever it's made, they're just buying 100 bikes at a time. They're slapping their logos on it. I mean, that's how Rad Power started. And I mean, they're still doing it, but I mean, that's how they were. You just buy more and you get your prices lower. Yeah, go with the BBS02 with the 52 volt. That's good match. Threaded hubs or cassettes, call it cassettes. If you don't need the entire shark capacity and short charge it to preserve cycle life, how often should you fully charge the battery to balance all the cells? That's a great question. I would say probably so it kind of depends. I mean, that's kind of a tricky question because it depends on how much you're kind of floating it. So let's say you charge it, you get the bike, you get the battery, fully charge it right out of the gate. That's what I would do. Fully charge it. As soon as you get the battery, fully charge it. And then let's say you go for a few rides, you get it down to like 50%, charge it back up to like 70%, keep it at like 40%, charge up to like 80%. I would do that float maybe like 10 times and then charge it back up again. Let that BMS do its job, balance everything, and then you could kind of let it float again. I'd say like 10 to 15 times, and then boom. What is your number one tip for a first-time e-bike conversion build? Don't pinch cables. Give yourself enough slack up at the handlebars for cables so that they're not getting pinched. Things like that. Just cable management. Definitely cable management. Just everything to do with cables. Sorry, I'm going to set the camera down so I'm not so bouncy. What are your thoughts on Cycle Analyst versus Egg Rider? Oh, sorry, I think I already talked about that. Cycle Analyst is a great display. It's super smart, but the Egg Rider is much better in my opinion. My tip to you, Andrew, is pick very similar completely online. Make sure the frame. Yeah, probably you're right. Electronic shifting, is that good for e-bike? I've had minimal experience with it. It was good when it worked great, but it seemed like there was the one that I used was a Bluetooth connection, and it seemed like there was an issue with it, and it wasn't shifting when I wanted it to. I was like, I missed my mechanical connection. Yeah, the Cycle Analyst is a great display. I'm not saying it's not. It's just compare it to the Egg Rider. Man, I don't know. It's like, it feels like you're from a different era. It feels like the Cycle Analyst is from the 60s. But it still does, yeah, it does great. It logs a lot of information if you're a data nerd. Yeah. Do you think 220 brake rotors are too much for 40 miles? No, I don't think you'd have too much. I'd probably just do 203s though. At a certain point, yeah, you're gonna start coming into issues, especially if your frame wasn't built for it and your wheels and calipers and all that stuff. Get the kit all together, calipers and rotors together. Otherwise, you're gonna be going nuts with adapters. What inspired you to build e-bikes? Sorry, I think I just talked about that. Pretty much that dude, the guy, and then YouTube. Just seeing dudes from Russia building weird stuff in their backyard. And I've always been a tinkerer with my friend Sean. We used to make Franken bikes all the time when we were in high school. We would chop up, or actually right after we graduated high school, my friend Sean, he got a welder, and we would go to the thrift store and buy a bunch of children's bikes and just chop the frames and weld them all together and make just funny bikes. We would make, they look like ladders with wheels. We'd make them 20 feet long, and we'd take them down to the lakefront in Chicago, and we'd ride them all around and stuff, and people would, we would do it for the fun. But, and I've always been a motorcycle guy, and I just love putting motors on batteries, and I loved bicycles too, so I don't know. Good amount of QS120 to bicycle, thanks to knowledgeable folks at ES. I don't know the QS120, but they make good motors. Do any big manufacturers make 220 rotor adapters? I don't know. I don't really mess with the 220s. I think 203s are usually like, those are big rotors. 220s I think might be a little overkill. Have you heard of the ride Swift BMX? It's a pre-built e-bike. Cool. Makes me want to build my own 20. I think I rode one of those at the Micromobility, if I'm thinking of the same one. It looked pretty cool too. And I was talking to them at the booth. If I'm thinking of the same one, I got a bunch of footage from that Micromobility convention. But yeah, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, yeah, it is cool. I like it. E-bikes are cheaper than cars. Absolutely. Have you tested any direct drive hubs? I've ridden a few of them, yeah. Direct drive hubs they're nice because they're way more efficient if you're going for efficiency. And generally, they can handle a lot more power. And I don't know. You could go into a deep dive with direct drive hubs. They also support regen. So if that's something that's important to you, something like that. Not all of them. You got to have a good controller and everything that could support it as well. But I don't really mess with the hub motors. I like having a transmission. I like being able to pinpoint my power to where I need it based on the situation. If you have the 6-bolt rotor, they're the same. You need to get the adapter. Yeah, I mean, you just got to get the adapter. Just make sure it's not like a center lock. If you got a 6-bolt or you got a center lock rotor, you want to just make sure those are two different things. So you want to make sure you get one. What's your take on the Fly Aero bikes? They're like did I just see this? They're like the #1 delivery bike in New York City. Are they good? Controversial. Let me plunk that in. Fly Aero. See, this is where I need Shane right now. He could be pulling this stuff up, popping it in. I don't need to be doing this. It's going to be awesome. Fly Aero. I need to put in e-bike. You guys are just watching me do this. This isn't a very good video. Man, here we go. I don't know why it already looks like. I don't like those square batteries behind the seat tube. I know. It just screams 2004. And I'm like worried about what kind of cells are in that battery. I don't know. I don't know. They look okay. I feel like I could build something way better though. I don't know about, unless I'm looking at a different one, but let's see. Why can't I find an adapter for 3-pin re-engine battery? Find an adapter for 3-pin for the Linnae. Are you talking about the 3-pin mini XLR? I don't know which 3-pin you're looking for. Last year I knew Utah Trikes has Velomobiles for sale, and if you could just nerd them out, they would be reliable and expensive modes of transportation. I don't know if they do the Velomobiles, but yeah, I remember. I know that they specialize in trikes for sure. I do need to nerd them out. I would love to. I want to get. I was thinking about the like the back feet style cargo bike where it's in the front, but I want to have it fully enclosed so I can put my daughter in there, have her enclosed from the weather, but also protect me. How likely is it to break a chain with a 3,000 watt mid drive? Can it be avoided by keeping the RPMs high? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly how you stop a chain from breaking, is keep the RPMs high on the motor so that you're not putting tons of strain on it, undo stuff. higher RPMs generally. I mean, you are still putting strain on it, but generally when it's moving really fast, it's not as much. And then, yeah, as it starts to wear, go there. Oh, let's see. Someone just sent me a super chat. W Dubs. Thanks, man. Or woman. Thanks, person. I gotta stop using gender. So thank you. Appreciate that. You can send a super chat. Someone just sent me $10. Appreciate that very much. I don't know if I see a comment from you though. If I do, I'll get to you. Let's see. Thank you for your web content. We have been lurking for a long time. Lurking? Is that intentional? May convert a pair of specialized rolls, one with this, one with rim brake. Those rolls are awesome. I got a specialized roll that I put a photon on. I really like that bike. That was right before I got my KHS dealership agreement, because they have some Movos that are similar, and I probably would have tried that. But I love my roll. I first time I rode a roll, I was like, this bike is awesome. Let's see. Really, the only way you snap a power is with mechanical air? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there you are. W Dubs. Dude, I befanged the Norco Charger bikes we just bought 5 years ago. I only did it because of you. You have changed mine and Linda's life forever. Bless you. Namaste. Thank you, man. I love that. Honestly, I love that. I love that stuff. I love stories like that. When people, you guys probably had those bikes. Yeah, 5 years ago you bought, and then you electrified them. You charged them up, and you breathed new life into them. I would love to know, like, how much were you guys riding them before? Even if you were riding them crazy, you're probably riding them insane now. You ride them 20 times more after they're electrified. So, I don't know. But that's awesome. Like, that's what I want is, like, you get a bike. It was fitted to you. Hopefully you got a good deal on them or whatever. If you bought them used, you got a good deal on them. Otherwise, you bought them brand new and you got them fitted. You liked them. And now you're electrifying. Now you got an electric bike. So, awesome. So glad to hear. Super glad that I could help. Pleasure is all mine. Do you recommend any kind of chain guard for a DIY build? I'm a bit worried about my chain getting snagged at high speed. Honestly, I would go with like a standard chain guard. And then what I would do is go to Home Depot and go get some conduit hanger, and then mount that around your down tube. Actually, go around your seat tube. And then, yeah, that'll take care of it. That's what I do whenever I got to mount a chain guard to like a BBS HD that doesn't support chain guards. Go get a conduit hanger at Lowe's for like $3. Are the Tannis products worth the money? When will you have stock on the 27.5x3? Yeah, I think so. Sorry, the Tannis stuff, I've just been super slow. I might even have some of those in stock. But message me and I could get them by the end of the week, whatever you want. I've been pretty lazy with keeping those in stock. I do need to place another order. I have some stuff. It's just I'm a one-man band for the most part here, like trying to keep up on inventory, trying to keeping the physical inventory level stocked, but then also making sure that it matches online. It's exhausting. It's tricky. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want and you're like, oh, you don't have it, or you can message me and I could special order it. I could special order anything for you or help you find whatever. Been trying to get an adapter from you for weeks. What adapter? Let me know what adapter you've been trying to get. And also you could message me just message me at the shop. Let's see. I run them on my bike tricks. Yeah. I think I run them. I put them on all my bikes. I put the Tannis on all my bikes. I don't like messing around with flat tires. Keep doing this. I hope I will. Hopefully we're going to start doing this and it's going to be a little bit more, I don't know. I wanted this to be a little bit more engaging and exciting and stuff like that. So Shane's going to start helping me out with it. He's going to be directing it hopefully here soon. He's going to be able to get stuff going quicker. Yeah. So anyways, we're almost at an hour. I figure I've bored you guys enough. I've helped some of you guys enough. I'm going to be taking off next week. So if any of you guys are trying to reach me at the shop, I'm going to be gone next week. Actually, starting Friday, I'm going to be gone for a week. Going to be taking a little vacation with my family, my wife and my daughter. I haven't taken a family vacation in a very long time. It's long overdue. You can see my eyes. I'm very tired. So I'm going to take a well-earned vacation for a week. Shane's going to be doing order fulfillment. So if he messes up, you know who to blame. If you guys have any burning questions, yeah, you'll probably just have to reach out to Shane. But I'm going to try to do the best I can to stay in touch, but I'm also going to try to just check out for the next week. So there will be no live broadcast next week. The following week, hopefully we will be back with vengeance, and hopefully me and Shane will have this whole live thing figured out, and it won't be just me with my phone, doing this. So yeah, I guess we're going to do like phone calls and stuff like that. So be a little bit more interactive and all that. Maybe if anybody has one last question, I might be able to help you out, or any comments or topics or anything like that. But otherwise, we are at about an hour. So, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else I want to talk about. Man, I feel like I've just talked myself. I'm not like a talkative person by trade. That's the weird thing. I'm generally like a pretty, I feel like I'm usually, I don't have the gift of gab, so this is a little unusual. But you start talking to me about e-bikes and I could go off the deep end. All right. Well, hey, anyways, guys, I guess that's all I had on my mind that I wanted to talk about. Maybe in 2 weeks, I'll have a lot more to talk about. Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, anyways, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.